Good afternoon. This is the Entrepreneur Wilderness Radio Show, and your host today is Oyeno Alubada. And my guest today, his name is Damon, aka DaRil Nailer, and he is a motivational speaker, music producer, author, and a janitorial service owner. Currently, he is promoting his latest project entitled Conception and Rebirth, which has been receiving airplay on terrestrial stations, internet stations, international stations, and podcasts. In addition, Damon is promoting his inspirational ebook entitled The Great Taste of Success, which is composed of 50 proverbs that provide wisdom, insight concerning gifts, talents, destiny, positive thinking, and spiritual growth and personal enhancement. Welcome to the show, Damon Naylor.
Thanks for having us. We appreciate the opportunity, man, and we're just glad to be here with you and the audience.
So, it looks like you're a man who wears many hats. How did it all begin for
Yes.
you? How did it all begin? How did it all begin?
Well, it actually all began. I am a former educator, and so I was teaching for 7 years, and during that time, I began to pursue music. I would say about 4 to 5 years into my teaching career, I began to pursue my passion of music. And in addition, towards the latter end of my career of teaching, I started to get invited to be a motivational speaker at different elementary, high school, and different events. And what happened, my passion for the music and my passion for the speaking began to override my passion for the education. And then in my final year of teaching, God just really began to inspire me with the book concept. And I would always get impressionable statements and I would just record them, write them down. And unbeknownst to me, it later would turn into a book. And therefore, in 2004, I really prayed and consulted God about it and felt led to go ahead and step out and pursue those various endeavors. So in 2004, I left my secure job of teaching with the benefits and everything, and we launched out to pursue the motivational speaking, the music production, and the writing. And so I was doing that for probably about a year and a half, and I guess things weren't going the way I thought they should. And I ended up starting the janitorial business in order to supplement my income and give me enough income to invest in my various endeavors. But that's pretty much how I got my start with the entrepreneurship. And I guess that would kind of lead to one of my first tidbits for entrepreneurs or those who are interested in pursuing entrepreneurship,
Mhm.
which is really to start doing it, small time. If you already have a job currently, you have a full-time job, or you have a means of income, I would say start to take glimpses at something you're passionate as well as skilled at doing and just see where it kind of leads while you have secure income, you know. And that's why I believe, you could test the waters and kind of see, hey, is this something I would like to do on a full-time basis? Or would it even generate sufficient income for me to be able to do it on a full-time basis? And I believe if you start it and you start generating a lot of income, you get real passionate about it, and you begin to pick up enough business, then eventually you'll be able to transition into the full-time entrepreneurship. So I would say, that would be the first thing to do. Start it on a small scale while you have a strong means of income. And if it does pick up and allows you to transition, then by all means transition into it. But the other thing I would say is to make sure, like I said earlier, you're skilled and you're passionate about what you're doing.
Mhm.
And I have a little story I wanted to share just real briefly.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, there were two individuals and they were both pretty much in the same line of work. And the first individual will say he wasn't really passionate about it. The family owned this type of business. And so he knew a little bit about it. And what happened, an opportunity came available where there was a local company who shared the same business, and they were going out of business, or rather the owner was stepping out of business, and he wanted to sell this business. And I'll never forget, I mean, they pitched this business to anybody who wanted, people who had no prior knowledge or no skill in performing the task of the business. They were just desperate to give it away. But it was a valuable business. Now, when this guy ran this company, he is known in this area, and he had a successful business. He had the clientele, he had the revenue, he had everything. And so when they were pitching it, everybody's like excited, but at the same time, I'm like, no, I'm not about to launch that venture or even try to take that venture because I'm not skilled and I'm definitely not passionate about it. Well, lo and behold, somebody took on that business. And like I said, this guy, he was not skilled with it, and he really wasn't passionate about it. And so he ended up not succeeding. He lasted a while, but eventually lost the clientele, and business is not going real well at all. You know, it's at a real low point with the business. Now, on the flip side, it was a guy doing the same type of business, and his start was similar to mine. He was working at a company doing the skill that this business requires. So he was skilled at it, and he was passionate about it. Yeah. And he was making this company millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And so he noticed that this company was overbooked, and it couldn't even fulfill many of the orders and provide the service to many of the customers, so they had to turn them down. So what he did, he launched out and did the same business. Now, this guy, it's the same business now. This guy's business is booming. He's doing well. I mean, he has his own crew. He's making money. He's doing it full time. But when you look at the comparison of the two, he had the skill, he had the passion, he had the experience. And, you know, business, of course, it's about making money. Of course, it's about providing an income. But I believe that we need to definitely try to tap into our giftings and our passions, because they were given to us for a reason.
Exactly.
Many people are frustrated, even as entrepreneurs, because they're pursuing something all for the means of money. And yet they get a lot of money, but they're still unfulfilled. And so if you pursue something that you're gifted and passionate about, not only will you be financially blessed, but you will be fulfilled, you know, spiritually and emotionally, and you'll look forward to it. It really won't even be a job. And that's the whole point. You don't want to do something that is bringing in money, but you hate it. I mean, you hate it with a passion. You can't wait to get off. You can't wait until holidays and vacations come. I mean, it's miserable.
I mean, that's quite key, because most people, like you said in the point, that they would look at someone else who is selling a business, and they fail to realize that, you know, from it could be an individual to a team, the way they gelled, the skills, the passion that they have for it may not translate to somebody else. I mean, that is, you know, something that my audience should take away. And also, you did mention that one of the businesses that they had so much orders that they couldn't fulfill, and I think sometimes people miss that, is that you can outgrow yourself so quick, and you just really cannot fulfill, or you just don't know what to do in terms of, right, how best can I deal with this situation? Can I pass some of this business elsewhere? You know, share it, partnerships, and so forth. That is important too. And also the money focus is what people going into business just for the money, and forgetting that, you know, to be genuine to yourself, you know, people would more or less warm towards that. And like you said, the tough days will come, the hard days, but you know, you're impassioned, so you would just do it anyway. Opposed to being money focused, where, you know, a hard day you just think, you know, forget this, I don't do this no more. So I'll just chuck it in the top right now. And I know a lot of entrepreneurs who have just done that because their focus was just on money and money only.
Oh yeah, and like you're saying, that's a horrible taste to get into your mouth, especially if this is your first time pursuing a business. You know, you do something that you hate, and then it falls through the crack, or when tough times hit and you end up leaving, then all of a sudden now you never want to do and pursue any endeavors as far as entrepreneurship goes anymore. But like you stated, had it been your passion, you can keep on in those tough times, because, you know, it's more about your passion. Of course, it's your profession, but ultimately it's your passion that's first. And even if that, and that's the flip side as well. if you pursue something and it falls through the crack and it's your passion, then you can do it as a pastime as opposed to a business. And you can keep going, maybe, of course, not at the same rate. You may not be able to invest as much as you wanted to in it, but you don't have to just totally give it up.
I mean, that's a good
So
segue.
that's what
So
I believe.
I mean, that's a good segue. So, because I know I hear some people say you can't just, and passion's important, but you can't just rely on passion alone. Because, like you said, it could be something that nobody wants, but you're passionate about. How would you then say to someone, all right, in that situation, what else could they do? I mean, would they rely on something that they can do skill wise?
Well, like I said, I would say that the key thing I would believe is the skill first, something that you're skilled and passionate about. And I actually give a gift inventory, and this is helping people find their destiny and their gift things.
Mm,
But as far as business is concerned, I would say, I normally ask 4 questions, but for business, I would say those two are the most important. First of all, what are you skilled at? Because in business, and this is one of my other tidbits I was going to share, you must provide a quality product or service. And if you're not skilled, then you cannot provide a quality product or service. It will suck.
mm,
And amazingly, as you stated earlier, I wear different hats, but everything that I'm doing, I'm skilled at. Some people will go into janitorial just because they know there's money, but they hate it.
mm.
Me, I actually love cleaning, believe it or not. Most people hate cleaning, but of course, my passion for music and speaking and writing is greater than my passion for cleaning. But I do like to clean. I love to clean. I'm cool with it. So I get a joy going and cleaning up, and it's no problem to me.
Yeah,
And everybody looks and they're like, man, how could you just like to do that? And here I am, college educated. I could go back to teaching any day, but here I prefer cleaning up, doing the music and these other things that I'm doing. And so even if, say, for instance, I was just passionate, but I didn't have the ability to clean well,
mm,
then I wouldn't have a viable business to this day. I've been this month here just made 7 years that I've been in the janitorial business. Well, I wouldn't have been able to last that long had I not had the skill to be able to provide that quality service.
mm.
And so, that's why I say skill is important first, but then also you want passion, because passion and skill are going to go hand in hand. They're going to fuel each other, because at times, you won't have the passion because of the ups and downs of business, but as long as the skill that is there, the passion will eventually come back. Sometimes you need a break. Sometimes you have to get away from stuff. And but the passion, as long as the skill is there, it'll feed the passion will feed the skill, and they'll just vibe off of each other. But oftentimes people, they're just passionate about something, but they have, I mean, no skill, no prior knowledge, no experience with it. And we see that all the time on The
Yeah,
Voice
yeah.
and American Idol. These people, they're passionate about singing, but they have no skill
No,
whatsoever.
no stage presence, nothing. No,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, nothing.
Just talent.
You're like, wow.
And to get away with it. But I heard you mention one thing where, when you said that this is what today will be your 7 years within the janitorial service. And,
Yes, sir.
and I
Sir.
think that, the word service is what
Yeah,
people normally miss when they're in
yeah.
business, because they're always, they're in a business, but they almost get into a prima donna state where it's all about them, and they seem somehow forget about the customer and to provide an actual service. What would you say to
Yes.
that?
Yes, I say, as okay, if you're providing a product, your fans and your customers make you. And if you're providing a service, your customers make you. Without customers and fans, they don't buy your product.
Mm.
Without customers, they don't buy and pay for your service. So it must be about people, which leads to my next